Welcome in, Breaux Show. Thought I started the streaming video off. Yeah, I like that. Shout out to whoever gave me. Even though I was not doing the streaming video. Anyway, welcome in. A huge win in Morgantown. Going back to Tuesday. Down 6 ACU. Feeling bad about it. Why in the world are we even playing this? We're going to lose. This Texas not going to Omaha. We're not going to be in the regional. Everything's going poorly, and then you win that game. Then you win the next one huge, and you feel like you have something going, but you're going to Morgantown. Who knows what's going to happen in Morgantown? I don't know. Are you going to win? Are you going to win 1, 2? But tonight, you have a huge effort. And guys like Mason Molina, who battled, only gave up 2. Ethan Coombs battled, only pitched to 1 batter, battled. Brandon Beckel battled. You have a bad bomb battled. You have other guys who put the ball in play through the round. Just a huge effort. There were issues with this team. And I'm not saying everything's fixed. I certainly don't think everything's fixed. But I do think you're in a good spot. I'm going to bring in Jackson Moody from Heartland Public Sports Podcast. So, Tech, how you doing, man?
You hear me?
Yeah, you know what? I've been having music playing this whole time. That's annoying. Was that playing the whole time?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, great. I just said a bunch of good stuff. Good grief. We can't hear you. That was annoying. Anyways, how you doing?
Pretty good. Better now that Brandon Beckel got 12 outs.
What a brutal start. We can't hear you. Start over. Okay, I'll start over. Hold on. We'll go through it all again. That was just a brutal start. Great start to the Rob Breaux Show here, Friday night edition. I got it down in the morning. Can't quite get it down in the afternoon. Jackson, much better than Brandon Beckel played, yes. Let me just rephrase what I was saying before I brought you in. You are playing ACU. It's a brutal down 6 issue. You don't really know what's going on. You have to play the game. Do you have to play the game? We're playing the game. You win that one. You beat the dog crap out of them in the next one. You feel like you have some momentum, but you have to go to West Virginia. Then you win game 1 in West Virginia. Mason Molina battled. Absolutely battled, only gave up 2. Ethan Coombs came in, got an out. Brandon Beckel absolutely dominated around some issues, but dominated. That 8th inning was huge with 3 strikeouts. So you just have some really good momentum here. Can you win 2? Can you win 3? Can you get greedy? What do you think, Jackson?
I mean, you can win 2. I thought that Friday was going to be the toughest since they were throwing a lefty on Friday. And they kind of seem like a little bit like you. They know who their Friday and Saturday starter is. And then their Sunday starter is normally a freshman, and he's only gone, I think, like 4 innings combined in his last 2 outings. So it kind of seems like both teams are going to have kind of a bullpen game on Sunday.
Yeah, and you mentioned this, that their Saturday guy, Traxel, who should be suspended, but we won't get into that, has struggled a bit here in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, I think so.
Quick break.
I'm all good.
Pro move there. Trying to go back to a couple of weekends. He had some issues at Oklahoma. He had some issues, a couple of other starts. He's had a really good year. What do you think he looks like tomorrow against Texas Tech?
I mean, hope we get to him. I mean, he's had like 12 starts, 13 games total, I think, and he's thrown like over 85 innings. And I think he's had, thanks, Big Hen. I think that he's had like 6 complete games. So, I mean, it'd be nice to get to him, but I have no clue if that's going to happen. But even last week, he allowed, I think, 4 or 5 runs in 7 innings. So it's not like a horrible outing.
No, certainly not. And you've had weekends where you wish you had those outings from a starting pitcher.
Yeah.
But you have a guy in Trendon Parrish who, even when he struggles, it feels like he again battles. You go back to last year, you were in the absolute dumps heading to Stillwater, and nothing was going right about this weekend of the season. You go on the road to Stillwater, everybody picks Oklahoma State, and then you sweep Oklahoma State in Stillwater. I'm not predicting a sweep here.
No.
But that would be huge, and your RPI is already up to 39. You're not going to jump 19 every game, but just by virtue of playing West Virginia the next 2 days, you're not going to drop much, even if you lose both of them. You'll finish with an RPI above 45 this weekend. But a sweep, I don't know, 35? You go up 10 more spots?
Yeah, and then you start to – I don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves because if we lose the series to Kansas, we probably don't make the tournament. But, well, I mean, if you sweep them, sweep Kansas, then you go to the Big 12 tournament with a chance at hosting. But
yeah, we talked about this when we were together watching the ACU game.
Yeah.
40 feels like the number.
Yeah. I feel like you could be 38 wins. I think as long as you win the series with Kansas, you're probably going into the Big 12 tournament in pretty good shape at this point.
So Warren Nolan has the RPI at 39. RPI D1 Baseball has it at 40.
Yeah.
40 wins total into the Big 12 tournament. I think what I'm saying is I think you're locked in as a 2 seed. I think you're way up there. Like if you have, 38 wins, you win one in the Big 12 tournament, you're sitting at 39, you're probably in the tournament. But you're at the South Georgia Regional again and Georgia Southern or whoever it was.
Yeah.
And really feel great about it. But if you get to that 40-win threshold, and that's a really strong finish, I think you'll be pretty solidly in the tournament and back up to maybe a 2 seed somewhere.
Yeah, I'd agree there. Although I would take that Georgia Southern Regional over what D1 Baseball has projected with us going to Wake Forest right now in a heartbeat.
And again, if you get back up to 2 seed and you're still the worst 2 seed, that means you go to the 16 seed. So, because it's snakes. So that would be a much better opportunity. If you can get back up in the 2 seed range, you're really going to help yourself because you'll be in the low. You'll go back down, or maybe you go back up. I don't know, but it's going to be a slog, whatever you do to finish this season. And you're kind of playing with house money now that you beat West Virginia on Friday night.
I'd agree. Like, I feel like your season could have been on the brink of being over if you got swept by them, and I think that's why we saw Beckel go 4 innings today because you know that their ace is pitching tomorrow, and you don't want to rely on needing a win in like a bullpen game on Sunday.
Yeah, and it kind of changes your whole outlook. You can kind of throw whoever you want to behind Trendon Parrish tomorrow.
Yeah. I would like to see Jacob Rogers some. He went 3 clean innings against ACU. I think I looked back and he went a clean inning against Sam Houston State last weekend too.
Who would you start on Sunday? Because I've got an idea.
Either Ryan Free or Tabor Fast.
All right, let's start Tabor Fast.
Okay.
And then do you remember Duchetter? Dylan Duchek, no. Ryan Shetter? A little before your time.
Probably.
Dylan Duchek, Ryan Duchetter had a combo starting day. There would be an opener and a starter, but they would basically throw the same, and it's just they had one starter, and it was Duchetter. I think we need to do Fast and Rogers and call them Fast and Rogerus. How about that?
I'm on board with that.
Yeah, let's do it. Fast and Rogers. All right. Jackson, you got any final thoughts, or do you want to talk a little basketball, or you want to – it looks like you're in the truck. You need to move on?
Only because I have like 3% battery. I probably have to move on.
Okay. Any final
Yeah.
thoughts on the West Virginia series?
Um, yeah, I think the pressure is definitely off of them. And it kind of feels like the season turned in that seventh and eighth inning against Abilene Christian. That
Yeah,
went from a team treading away from a tournament to a team with a lot of momentum.
absolutely. All right. Thanks, Jackson.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for having me.
That was Jackson Moody. You can follow him on Twitter at Jackson. Let me see if I get this right. Jackson Big 12. Great picador. Great guy. I will say this. He just mentioned something about West Virginia where all the pressure's off Texas Tech now. I think even further than that, all the pressure's on West Virginia. Texas Tech's playing with house money. West Virginia is playing for a top 8 national seed. West Virginia is playing to host. West Virginia is playing for a Big 12 championship. Texas Tech's just playing baseball this weekend. West Virginia is tight. Texas Tech is loose. And in baseball, it's way better to be loose than tight. You know what I mean? Let's talk a little basketball. Earlier today, Texas Tech got the commitment from Warren Washington. I did want to mention a couple of stats from him. This is from our buddy Ryan Mainville. Power 6 players, minimum of 400 minutes played, that had a rebounding rate of 13.5% plus and a block rate of 7% plus while averaging 9+ points per game last season. Zach Edey, Naismith National Player of the Year finalist, Trace Jackson Davis, Brandon Carlson, Jesse Edwards, and Warren Washington. Warren Washington, the new Texas Tech post player, a true 7-footer. His new profile picture is him holding the ball straight out like that. It's a beautiful photo. He is going to be the day one starter at center. McGasland, all gas, no breaks with basketball recruiting. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I think I'm right. I think there have been 4 official visits for Texas Tech, maybe 5, but I think 4. Even if there are 5, there have been 3 recruits that have committed, and that's either 60% or 75%. So even if it's 60%, if you get them in the building, there's a high likelihood that they will be Texas Tech Red Raiders. If you show them the Womble, if you show them all the steak and salmon they can eat, if you show them the USA, I mean, this is a guy coming from Arizona State, not only Arizona State, but Washington State and Nevada. He's been around, and he came here, and he commits to you over TCU. And TCU's been recruiting well, really well. So that is a great pickup from Coach McCaslin. I do want to mention, too, yesterday on the episode that I pre-recorded, by the way, if you're still here, smash that like button, subscribe, comment, what an idiot, you can't turn down the music, and we'll get that going. Tyron Lawrence next. I don't know who's next. There are several out there. Tyron Lawrence, I think the kid from Vanderbilt, very good player. If you want more information on Tyron Lawrence, Chris Level has it. They're on the Locked On podcast. I believe that the one they put out today, I think, had it some in there. But I do want to talk about Coach McCaslin. Yesterday on the episode I put out, I posed the question, does he need to be more like Joey McGuire? And I said, no, he needs to be Coach McCaslin, and he'll find his way. But it's going to take some time, and it's going to take even playing games. You know, they hadn't played any games yet. People are freaking out. People are talking about Twitter. People are going back and forth. Well, in my opinion, just let him find himself. And I think he found himself a little bit at an event over the weekend or yesterday, last night, Thursday night, wherever it was at Little Woodrow's. It was a Red Raider Club of visit or whatever. Him and Joey both there. All the headlines, though, Grant McCasland. McCasland, I'm going to paraphrase, said, calm down. I want y'all to be excited next April, not this April. I want y'all to be excited next April and celebrating a national championship, not this May, celebrating everything I'm doing on a daily basis. Am I a little worried that there's no staff yet? Sure, but it feels like there's reasons there. I've never been worried about the recruiting. I've said all along, let's wait till June to be worried about recruiting. It's always been June until all these guys get out of the NBA draft and everybody settles in and the portal shakes out. I'm talking with my hands a lot tonight. But I do think that McCasland killed at the Red Raider Club event, and Don Williams had all of those quotes in a huge thread. But I love the message. Hey, you guys calm down. We're trying to do this right. We're trying to build this base layer. We're trying to put this brick by brick to build for the future. We're not trying to build for June 1st. We're not trying to build for the first game of the season. We're trying to build for the last game of the season. Loved it. And I'm calm. I am very calm. Also, I don't know if you noticed, Texas Tech baseball, after the first pitch was thrown out, did tweet out McGasland. He will now forever be known as Mick Gasland. He always was Mick Gasland. He will forever be Mick Gasland. All right, I think that's all I had today. Warren Washington, huge pickup. Lamar Washington back. One of my favorite players. I think there were 3 guys last year. Robert Jennings, Lamar Washington, and Pop Isaacs. Maybe Demarion Williams. That I never questioned. I never questioned effort. I never questioned future. I never questioned ability. The only questions I had on any of them were, why aren't they playing more? Or why aren't they with this other lineup? I never questioned ability. I never questioned effort. Now, some of the guys that have left, I did question effort and ability and other things. But those 4 guys, I'm really glad they're back. Really glad. And Lamar Washington, if anybody fits this system, it's Lamar Washington. That's another thing Ryan Mainville pointed out, that this slow-paced, defensive-first, athletic defensive system really fits Lamar Washington. You look back at that Iowa State comeback, and it was Lamar Washington at the point of attack playing hard that spurred that 23-point comeback. Jalen Tyson made a few plays too. But it really was Lamar Washington. Now, was he up and down as a freshman? Yes. But I do think that he will be more up and up and up as he continues. The offense just worked when Lamar was on the court. Yeah, and Lamar was one of the only ones that could do an entry pass on the pick and roll. And if that's going to be a piece with Warren Washington, by all means, let Lamar Washington run the pick and roll. For whatever reason, you couldn't throw an entry pass, but somebody who could at least half effectively was Lamar Washington. All right. I do think that's all I have tonight. I called baseball in the sun all day. I don't know if you can see. Got some rosy cheeks. Got some good color on the arms. My voice is not going to last very much longer. So I'll see you guys Monday at 8 a.m. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. I'll have this audio figured out. That's really frustrating that it kept playing after I turned it down on the board. But I'll remember to turn it off next time. Hopefully it's still not going because I can't hear it. But I do appreciate you. Thank you to Jackson Moody for joining me. You can follow him on Twitter at JacksonBig12, part of the Heartland College Sports. What's on tap for refreshments tonight? A whole lot of water. You comment what you're drinking tonight down below. All right. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. on YouTube. We'll be live on the Gambling Gauchos Sunday night. And then again, the Rob Breaux Show will be live on this channel Monday morning at 8 a.m. Monday, Wednesday, next Friday. We'll see what happens on Friday. We might go late every Friday night. We'll have to figure that out, especially through the summer. Alan's drinking bourbon on the rocks. We'll just have to figure it out. I'm calling Monterey baseball. They won again today. If the softball team wins, I'm assuming I'll call the next one too, but I don't know. So there it is. I'll be Rob Breaux. I've been Rob Breaux. We'll see you next time.